Welcome in, everybody. How are you all doing? What an insane overnight action on the ES. Insane. I hope you all had a nice Wednesday. Bear with me as I get everything together. How are you guys all doing? I did a little FOMC stream last night before close. It was kind of funny. I didn't tell anybody about it. I just went on YouTube, and we did it last minute. It was kind of funny. I took an SPY short yesterday on 0-day expiration contract at this high right here. So if you guys are on the FOMC stream, you probably remember that. All right. I think we are live everywhere. Are we live everywhere? Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to be live every FOMC. For 2026, I'm live every single FOMC on YouTube. Every single one. Don't let me miss it. If I miss it, that's on me. Quality looks bad today. I don't know why the quality looks bad in the stream, right? Is it just me? Oh, wait, no, it's actually good. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. No, we're good. We are absolutely good. Okay. So sorry, I was reading some stuff. All right, so guys, today is Thursday. It is December 11th. A lot of things happening here pre-market. We have some things to go over. FOMC data. Yeah, I mean FOMC yesterday. If you guys were on the live stream yesterday, we spoke about that yesterday. It is Thursday. It is Thursday today. It's not Friday. Did I say Friday? It's Thursday. It is Thursday today. We are going to go over everything that's happening here on the SPY chart. ES. I mean, a lot of things happening yesterday. You guys saw the crazy reaction in the after hours yesterday, right? Insane volatility. I mean, this is the type of volatility you'd expect, though, after an FOMC session. So I hope you guys are ready for this one. All right. We are going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 wood. You paid for the Discord, but was not able to get logged in. Yes, send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll point you in the right direction. I will point you in the right direction. But do it on Instagram. Make sure you send me the message on Instagram, and I'll get you sorted before live. Okay? All right, guys. So let's jump into it. A lot of things happening today on the ES chart, right? We've held demand yesterday. We moved up higher into supply, and that's what it was. It was basically just a demand hold and a supply rejection. And we moved back into a very critical level of demand in the after hours on the ES chart. ES tap is critical demand zone, and we have since rebounded off that level. And on the SPY chart, it's the same thing. We'll talk about SPY in a moment as well. SPY did pull back to demand yesterday. SPY pulled back to a major demand yesterday, and we're going to go over what that demand is and where it's going to next, right? We'll go over Nvidia weakness, right? With Nvidia, despite the market strength yesterday, despite the market showing strength yesterday, there were some names that were lagging behind the overall market. If you guys were on the FOMC live that we did yesterday, I spoke about this on the live stream. I said, guys, I would not long Nvidia. Even when I was over here, I was like, Nvidia is not a name to be long at because it's a name that is maintaining weak against the overall uptrending market, right? So we'll talk about where Nvidia is going today and where the potential shorts are, right? Where can we look for maybe some downside action on this particular chart, okay? We'll go over our AMD chart, and very similar to Nvidia, very weak both on AMD and Nvidia. These are like the ugly your ugly cousins, right? These are the ugly cousins. AMD and Nvidia are your ugly cousins. They may be related to you, but something's wrong with them. And that's what's going on here, right? These charts are weak. We're going to go over your Meta chart as well. Meta holding demand. We'll go over the Appler, Apple 280, very, very key level. We spoke about this yesterday. We loaned it yesterday at market open. And today, let's look to see, can we get the build above 280? We'll go over a few other things as well, guys. But before we do any of this, let's go into our econ data and earnings reports. So Today's session, obviously, right, it was all about the earnings report. It was all about the econ data yesterday, right? Also, earnings report. We had ORCL yesterday, Oracle, and this was a what's going on here, right? I mean, what's going on? Oracle, a staple, just dumping like this. So Oracle actually did move the market down yesterday in the after-hour session. That's part of the reason why the market sold so aggressively as well. Costco, COSD also reported earnings. Hey, what do we say about Costco, right? Costco, we're getting ready for Costco. I am getting ready for Costco. I know it's far away. I know you may think it's far away, but it's getting there. It's getting closer and closer and closer to my level where I begin to DCA into this particular position. So I know Costco is not one you guys are used to because it's an expensive name, but Costco we can watch for a potential long-term entry here down at these lows, okay? Also, obviously, econ data, right? What's going on here? FOMC was yesterday. We had the Fed chair press conference. And here are the things you guys want to know, okay? Here are my notes for today's session. If you guys did not watch the FOMC, this is what it was. It was mostly optimistic. Rate hikes are not anyone's base case was the theme. Policymakers maintained an easing bias, but it wasn't uniform decision, right? You had majority saying rate cut, but you actually had a few saying rate hold. GDP expected to ramp up into next quarter, and unemployment seems to be holding steady, which doesn't appear to be a problem for the Fed. So Powell also said payroll growth is likely to be overstated by 60,000 jobs. Which would imply the economy has been shedding about 20K jobs since May. Besides that, it was an overall optimistic, dovish sentiment in this in his speech yesterday. Okay, that's all I have here. Okay, so those are my notes that I took yesterday. Let's move on to our charts, and we'll talk about what's going on here on the SPY chart. So SPY. Basically, what happened yesterday was we moved from, remember we said that we have like a channel and then another channel and multiple channels, right? Well, if you just do a reset here, let's just reset everything and get a view of this from a very bird's eye view, right? Just a bird's eye view here. Bird's eye view, where are we? Well, we're just back at almost the all-time highs. And yesterday's session on this SPY chart, we tapped the all-time highs. My dog is upside down and coughing. Dog is good though. Dog is fine. 690 was your big technical level of demand or supply. And we seem to be rejecting off that level still. Yeah, dog is good. Dog is good. Okay. 690 is rejecting off of supply still. And we haven't broken it yet. Market pushed into it. And then the dog does that. Don't worry. My dog does that. It's a very common thing. Don't be alarmed. So 690, very key level. And we tapped into it yesterday's session during FOMC, and then we failed off of it. That's what happened yesterday. Now we are back at all-time highs. We are back at all-time highs here in the SPY chart. That's where we are, and the market is structuring higher. It still is bullish, right? The market's still bullish, and the market is daily time frame bullish, hourly time frame bullish, 4-hour time frame bullish. As long as we're above what level here, right? We know that we're bullish here on larger time frames as long as we are above this level. That's what it is, right? This is that most recent structural low. So really, as long as we're above 681 on the SPY, we're technically bullish here, right? So we know that hey, we're back in supply, right? We're back in supply, but we are bullish here in the 1-hour time frame. And either, obviously don't be long in a supply. This is still supply. But if you want to be short, it's got to be either at supply or it's got to be a move down under our demand for a downside play. Right? That's what it is on our charts. Now, again, if you bring back all of your levels, you're going to see that this was your supply yesterday. If you bought calls into the supply zone, you are a Muppet, right? And there's just no way to change it. You're a Muppet. I've been a Muppet sometimes too, but this was a Muppet move. 689 was technical supply. This is your big level, and you knew that going into that FOMC session. We pushed up into it, and we failed back almost precisely at the level. And if you go back to ES chart for a second, look at the ES chart. The ES chart was tapping 6,900 exactly. Oh, wait a second, deja vu. This happened right over here on Friday the 5th. Friday the 5th it happened, and then wait, damn, wow, Wednesday the 10th, it also happened. Tacticals tend to work, right? Tacticals tend to work. 6,900 ES is still rejection, it's still supply. We can't be long into this level. That's a clear defining thing thing that we know every single day. Do not be long into 6,900 ES. Now, on the SPY chart, while we can't be long in a supply, right? We can't be long in a supply. We also can't be short back into demand, right? We know that this is our critical demand now. 681.50 is a massive level down below. And if there's only one level to watch out for on demand, it's really that. It's 681.50. It's that 1 hour time frame demand zone below. And you know this is a colossal level. So my two biggest levels are this level right here and this level right there. In fact, I'll make them both orange, right? So we know what our two colossal levels are. Colossal level number 1, 689. Colossal level number 2 is 681.5. Now, again, you have a high over here at 685, which is important. It still is important, right? The reason why it's important is because you can see it's the highs over here, the hold spot, the downside breakdown move, the high of Tuesday session, right? So we are still technically playing with the 685 level here, but the biggest and most important thing is going to be 685. I deleted a level there. That was important for me yesterday when I was trading SPY shorts. Not important today. But 685 is your level now. Watch 685 to hold it. 685 holds, we go higher to 689. If 685 fails, we go lower into 681.5 and then back into this demand zone. In which case, if you want to see downside, real downside, want to see an aggressive trend break in the market, an aggressive downside move, this is your move right there. If we get down under 681.5, that's your aggressive breakdown for continuation plays back down to lows. That would be top watch for shorts. Top watch for longs would be probably 685 hold and a trend-based day back in highs. It could happen today, right? It could happen today. But again, in no environment am I going to be long. In no environment am I going to be, let's buy calls here at supply. Let's not do that, right? Only calls here or only calls there, right? There would be a long entry. Those are the things I'd be watching going into my SPY session in front of us, right? What did I miss? You missed everything. You missed everything. You missed everything. You got to go back and watch it all, okay? On the ES chart. Is basically the same thing, right? 6,900 level of supply. You can see that's your big level at ES resistance above us. And we failed there, right? Logically, it was a level of resistance we pushed up into during FOMC. We failed back down lower. If I swung my 0DD puts, I would be a happy camper. But again, I would also be an unhappy camper because then I'd be owning 100 shares times 10. So I'd have a lot of, actually, I'd be owing 100 shares times 10. So let's not do that. But that was funny. We shorted the 6,900 level yesterday on the YouTube. Sold it for like 8% profit, walked away. But this ended up dumping crazily into close. ES futures traders probably went to the bank yesterday. They're laughing at me. They're laughing at me with one of those very rich person laughs, right? But now we moved back into demand here on the 10th of Wednesday. And we bounced off demand and just moved up higher, right? And so that's where we are right now. We're actually back at almost back at the same spot we opened at on our pre-FOMC, right? Look at the pre-market highs. Pre-market highs right over here. Pre-market highs right over here, right? We're just right over there now. We're basically in the same ballpark area as we opened prior to FOMC. So where do we go now? Well, not that. Where do we go now? Well, again, it's just respect your levels. 68.72, which is the 685 on SPY. If so, bullish. If you fail this level, if so, downside back into lows here. But again, demand, your big demand is right over here, right? 68.35 is your big demand below. This is my colossal level. If you break 68.35, we're going into the after hours low here, 68.17. If you break 68.17, you're going into 6,800. If we push higher today into 6,900, you have to remove every temptation to long this market here because it's not a long. The only long is going to be either here, right? Or it's going to be here. Those are your long side trades. So again, trade the levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. That's what it is today here on the SPY chart, on the ES chart. On the SPY chart, repeating myself again a lot here, but it's level 1, it's level 2, it's level 3, it's level 4. That's all I have today here on the SPY and ES chart, okay? Let's move on. Qs. QQQ in the graveyard zone, right? QQQ is in the graveyard zone, and if you look at Qs, it is actually where we opened at, right? So look at the QQQ. Look how Wednesday the 10th opened right here, 624. And oh, wait a second, where are we opening right now? We're opening yet again at 624. So as long as we are here, we are just doing the same. This is deja vu, right? It's almost like this entire move here on the SPY never happened, right? It's almost like this entire, on the Qs. It's almost like this entire move on the QQQ never happened. Okay, and where are we now? Well, we're back at the graveyard zone, 624. If we hold 624, upside into 626. If we break 626, upside back in a 629, and this needs to be adjusted here, right? This is an error, right? And sometimes you have to make adjustments. So 629 is the new adjusted level, and you know your supply zone is between 628.80 and 629, a very fine level here. So this is where we have our supply and our demand below, right? Our demand down below is back over here at 68.20, right? And that's where the after hours low came in, or pre-market low came in this morning, 620 on the QQQ. Okay, so again, big supply above, big demand below. We're in the graveyard zone here in Qs. If we break above 626, upside. If you lose 622, downside. That's what I have today here on the QQQ. Nothing crazy here on this chart. In fact, I think I have better clarity on the ES and SPY chart. That being said, guys, let's dive into our equities now. Let's jump up into our individual tickers, and let's start off with the first ticker of today's session, the Appler. So Apple was good yesterday. If you guys were on the pre-market, you guys knew what we were doing. We long the low, right? So we just had a low here at 277, and we long the chart right here on this candle, and just got upside into this high, and that was it. That was it. It was just a very boom, boom, done. It did the same thing again. It ended up holding at 277 again a second time, and then it did it right over here and resulted in upside into the air, right? And that was again another trade that you could have taken, but I didn't do that. I just took Apple once. That was it. Now, what's going on here in Apple? Apple, you don't want to trade in this range anymore, right? Between 280 and this 276 area. You don't want to get involved here anymore. What you want to do is you only want to get involved if we can start putting pressure on these highs. And what does that mean? That means I'm looking for this. That means I'm looking for us to clear above these 280s. If we can clear 280, I'm looking for a break, a retest, an upside move. Okay? And why? Because 280 is the most important level here in this chart. If you zoom out for a second, the head and shoulders, even though we saw some bullish momentum yesterday, the head and shoulders on the 1 hour chart is still there, right? The head and shoulders is still valid. It's still there, right? You see the left-hand shoulder, you see the head, you see the right-hand shoulder. So as of right now, this chart is still in supply. So if we're looking for anything in this chart now, you want to see us back above the what? The supply, right? Above 280, if it breaks, we can look for longs on the break, on the retest, and the upside move back into 85. So my top watch today is Apple above 280, right? Now, granted, I don't care if it sells off here. I don't care, right? I won't trade it. It's got to be above these highs, and it's got to be pressure. In fact, what you don't want to see happen is if this happens, break, boom, boom, boom. If that happens, I'm shorting, right? So even though I'm saying let's watch this for longs, if this happens, I'm shorting, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Apple above 280 is bullish. Apple below 280 is technically bearish. So everything Apple does today is defined by what? 280, right? If we're above it, bull, below it, bear. If you see us break out, trap the bulls, and then downside move, I'm back bearish again, right? I'm bearish, and I'm actually shorting this now, right? So keep that in mind today on Apple. Apple 280, major inflection point. Head and shoulders still valid. Head and shoulders still valid. We longed it yesterday. It doesn't mean we're going to long this today. Let's see what happens. Again, we could long it today, but it's got to be above 280, okay? Nvidia, only for shorts today. I only like the Nvidia on the short side trade, okay? And this is my top watch today, as well as Apple, is going to be, do we break 180? And the reason why, if you guys came to the live stream yesterday during the FOMC, we spoke about this Nvidia chart. And this is, again, look at this. Look at the discrepancy on Nvidia and SPY. I want you guys to do something right now. I want you to look at this upside here, right? You see this little upside here from Wednesday the 10th, right? And obviously you see around 2:30, 2 o'clock, right? Oh, big upside move, right? Nice. Pre-market highs over here at 185.7. So even though we did move higher yesterday during the session on Wednesday, we were still about almost 1%, 0.7% away from our pre-market highs, right? We were still down 0.7% from pre-market highs. We were down 0.7% from pre-market. Very important here. This was a chart that was still red yesterday's session into close. Now, SPY, on the other hand, right, the benchmark ticker, wait a second, where's the pre-market highs? I mean, come on now, right? I mean, this is a chart this is your benchmark name. It's strong, okay? And then your individual name is what? Is weak. Nvidia, right? So today's session, Nvidia is still weak, and Nvidia again are your ugly cousins, AMD, Nvidia. So I would say if we're going to watch anything today in Nvidia, it's going to be a 180 breakdown trade. If we can break down under 180, I'm looking for a short side trade back into the lower or the upper 170s. And why do I say upper 170s? Because if you zoom out here for a second, you do find that there is a level right here. See this level right here? You can see it in my chart. Yeah, you can see it. 177. So 177 actually is an important inflection point. So I am watching to see, can this break down under 180? If it does, I'm looking for the free flow move back down into the 177 area. So that's my watch here on Nvidia. And yes, Nvidia is weak because of Oracle earnings, but Guillermo, also keep in mind, Nvidia was weak even prior to Nvidia earnings, so Oracle earnings, right? Nvidia, even before Oracle earnings, was weak, right? This was a name that still, even though Oracle had not even reported yet, was maintaining weak against the market. And that's important for me, okay? So let's keep that in mind. AMD. AMD also weak, right? I mean, look, these names could flip strong, but as of right now, they're not. And 220 is your pivot here on AMD. AMD bull bear pivot is 220. If we're above it, we are bullish. If we're below it, we are what? We're bearish, right? So that's what it is. I think that this is my very clear inflection point. Look, I don't intend to trade AMD today. I really don't. AMD doesn't have a very clear chart to me. I mean, look at this 1 hour chart, 15-minute chart. 1 hour chart is even worse, right? It's not really doing much in this range over here. So I have no intention of trading AMD here. No intention. For me personally, where I would get intention would be here or there, right? So even though I'm saying 220 is your bull bear pivot, you know, it's a lot of words, right? But where I would take action is above 225 or below 213, 212, wait, hold on. What level is it? 213, sorry, 213. And that, again, is the reason why is because I wanted to get out of this range here. This is the range. This is the box. Either above the highs or below the lows. 226 or 213 is where I get involved here on AMD. So that's my watch today on AMD, okay? Either below lows or above the highs. Tesla. So Tesla in the dune still, right? Tesla's in the dune still, and that's the problem. This is the problem when you're in the dunes. You're flying blind, and Tesla is one that still is flying blind. I think that you do have a very clear level though now. The level that is clear to me is 450 on Tesla. 450 is your big inflection point. You saw the opening bell rejections at 450. You saw how it rejected here prior to FOMC, and then you saw it break out above 450 for upside. And this morning we are what? We are rejecting 450. So I think you have a very clear level now, and it's become 450. So if you want to look for 450, I would look for longs back into 456 for the upside move. This looks good to me. Honestly, it does, right? But it just needs to build now. 450 can build. It's still a bullish name. Still super bullish. But 450 needs to break for upside move. Okay. Let's move on, guys. Let's go over some other things. Let's go over Meta. So Meta lackluster, right? I mean, I think this is still lackluster, to be honest. I mean, it's still lackluster. It's not doing much, to be honest. 650 is your supply, 642 is your demand now, and we're in this like range. If you want this to give you clarity, I believe you need to see a reclaim above 650, right? This would be your reclaiming move. Your bullish move would be a reclaim above 650. If you can reclaim 650, then you have an upside trade. But for now, I believe this is a name that's fairly lackluster, right? Lackluster meaning it's just in range. A name that is staying in range like this in a box like this, to me, just means don't get involved. But if we can reclaim here, you see a reclaim move above 650, then potentially there is an upside move back into 660. Okay, that's the only thing I have here on this chart in front of me, right? Let's move on, guys. I want to go over some other things here. Netflix, the Netflixer. I am watching this down below. Soon to be a position for me. So let's see if we get that today. I am hoping we do. So 90 flat is where I'm watching on this one. And I'm looking to see if we can get that 90 level, right? For Netflix for a long-term buy. No short-term trades here. 90 is my buy. Amazon. So on the Amazon chart, Amazon is doing what I want it to do. Okay, now I'm getting happier and happier seeing this maintain, and you see where your clarity is drawn from, right? If you are long this chart, you know where your clarity is drawn from. I longed it over here, right? And then I got some upside, and then it pulled back and it formed a higher low. And now my clarity is the fact that we're holding higher low. So 227 has maintained this as a bullish name. And if we are above 227, I'm bullish. I'll look for longs at 227. I'll look for longs on 230 reclaims. And I'll look for longs at the highs, right? At this moment, it is fully bullish. If we break below this level, I stop out of my swing trade and I jump out of it and take a small win, right? As of right now, 227 is your clear inflection point here on the Amazon chart, okay? Are you watching Netflix for leaps or shares? I always trade shares. That's all I do. I'm a share trader, okay? But you can do it with leaps too. Leaps are fine, right? I choose to do it with what's it called? Shares. Okay. What are we missing here, guys? We're missing something? We're missing something big right now. Why are we so early? It's 9 o'clock. It's not even 9 o'clock. It's almost 9 o'clock. We are just moving. We're moving sonic speed this morning. We're locked in. And we're moving sonic speed. Palantir. 188 rejection. I think Mike spoke about this yesterday's session, right? He spoke about that 188 level, being careful into it. And look at this chart. I mean, just in supply and bam, right off supply. So I do believe that Palantir, you look, this is what I said too. I said it around the 180s. I said, look, Palantir probably moves into supply now. We're back in supply, right? If you were long Palantir, by all means take profit, right? You're back in supply. Now we have no idea what's going to happen here. Does Palantir break or does it fail again? Now we have no idea. Okay. So if anybody tells you what they know Palantir is going to do right now, don't watch them. Trust me, I'm telling you this out of my personal experience. Right? We knew that once it was here, it's going there. But once it's here, we don't know if it's going to do this or this. Right? We have to see what's going to happen. Get the intraday price action to read, and it'll tell you what's going to happen. If you are a Palantir intraday trader, right, you could probably watch Palantir today. Right? If you see it break 180, what did we just do? What did we just do? We are cooked, guys. Oh, no, we are. We're back. My screen just blacked out completely. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see that? My screen was a complete blackout. So it completely... Are we live, though? Oh, we are live still. We're good. You know what? I need to reset this, though. I need to reset my chart here. But yeah, we just had a little bit of blackout there on my monitors. I don't know why. Okay, we're back though. We're back. So yeah, Palantir, you know what this is, 188 supply. Be aware of that into our session, right? Obviously, very big level. Okay. SoFi. How do you not know if you're live? No, I don't. The crazy thing is, I won't know if I'm not live until 30 seconds after, right? Because I have to wait for it won't show up until like 30 seconds. It's actually faster if you guys tell me. You guys will say, Brett, you're not live, or Brett, because I can read it. So SoFi chart. SoFi is not looking hot. It's not looking hot, right? I'm just going to be honest. It's not looking hot right now. Look, we got in over here. We're still good in shares. I'm sure you guys probably took some profit on this if you guys were in leaps or whatever, but look, it was up 26%. Right now, it's kind of looks weak. Could you argue it's forming a higher low here? Maybe, but it doesn't look that convicted to me. I would want to see it hold 26.5, right? This is the area I'd want to see us hold. If you are an option trader here on SoFi with like swing trade with a month out, 2 month out, 3 month out trades, well, your stop loss should be right here, right? And I think you're getting it stopped, but I don't know. I'm still bullish here. I'm still bull here, but I think we may get stopped under these lows. I'm not going to get stopped. I'm going to hold because I have shares. But again, I bought over here, right? And we did last time. We bought over here. We bought over here, and we sold over there, right? So I'm nicely green no matter what. I don't care. I'm going to hold this even if it sells off to this. In fact, I'll buy more over here, right? If it does happen. But this to me doesn't look too convicted to me for longs. I just don't like the fact that it's staying here for this long. Typically, this is what happens, right? When a stock bounces off a demand zone like this, bounces off demand, it moves higher, right? And then in theory, it should swing low and form what? A swing low and bounce off that swing low and move higher, right? That's how the market should operate. And then now you're no longer viewing this as a downtrend, you're viewing this as an uptrend, right? Looking for this, looking for this, looking for this. I don't want to see a stock stalling out, forming that swing low for this long, because then it begs the question, is this just a dead cat bounce? In which case we see a breakdown under these lows. And if we do, then you know where we're going to, right back into here. So again, I think, it's still bullish. I still have a bullish position here, but I am not so confident that this is going to hold right now because it's taking too long here at the 26.5. So again, let's see what happens. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but if you are in swing trade, right, you know your stop should be here. Don't look, if you're a month out, right, you're already up 20-30% in this trade and you see us break 26.5, walk away, right? Walk away for the small gain, because I promise you would much rather walk away for a small gain here than be wondering what to do here, feeling paralyzed, feeling like shit, oh, damn, I should have TP'd some, right? Damn, I should have walked away, man. And then now what do? Because now you're still in the same trade, you're oversized, you want to buy more, and you don't know what to do, right? So again, if you want to be smart about this, your level's right here. I already know I'm going to get 67 DMs on Monday morning if this breaks down. 67 DMs I'm going to get. People are going to say, Brett, what the hell are we doing with SoFi? I just told you, right? We longed it here. It moved up 26% here. 26%. I told you guys on the live stream, right? Bam, right? Got some downside. We got some news here that impacted the stock. It's trying to form a swing low here, but if you have short-term expiration contracts, your stop is there. It's right here, 26.5. My stop is not, though. My stop is way down below sub 20 is where my stop is, okay? So that's it, guys. I'm yelling at you. I'm yelling now. I'm starting to yell. So I'm going to call it here before I lose my cool. I'll see you guys all in live. Have a happy and safe trading session. Take it easy, guys. Friday, we'll be doing pre-market in person. I don't know if it'll be online. I'm going to try to be online. But I'm not a good public speaker in person, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to feel like a circus monkey on a stage. So it's going to be a bit weird, but I'll do my best to be live with you guys. Anyway, trade safe, trade smart. I'll see you guys all tomorrow or today. Bye, guys.